Alright YouTube, in this video what we are going to see is how to create a login form. In this login form I have implemented all the professional function which is useful to create a login form. First of all, let me show you what it is. If I type wrong username, it's going to say, as you can see it's shaked and it is incorrect value. Retry, and also the login is changed to login again. Let me show you. Now it's just a login. If I type only the first value, which is admin, and click on login, you'll see it says insert username and password. We have missed the password, that's why it says input both the values. Fine. If I type the wrong one, something, and click, you'll see the error. Now if I misspell something, right now my password is just password, and I type passwords and paste over here. Now you cannot see. If you want to see, you have to click the checkbox that says show password. See, it says passwords. If you don't want to see, you can uncheck the checkbox. So this is a functionality I have added in this video. Fine. Now let me log in. You'll see page appears. This is what we're going to see in this from scratch from the very base. Remove all the HTML file. Here in this case we need 3 files. The first one is the index, the form. The second one is the logic, whether you have inputted the right value or wrong value is evaluated on the form on this page, which is fetch.php. And the third one is home.php, which is retrieved when your username and password is right. Fine. Let me remove all the page and start from scratch. You have very first read the form. I would request you to visit it. Fine. Now just copy from the bottom in the body. The advantage of use the public school code are getting the online CD as well for jQuery, for JavaScript. So we don't have to include the files on our local machine. It uses the CDN. Let me, as you see, I was talking about the scripts of Bootstrap and jQuery. If I say you need name or username, let me make the ID as user name and the name also username. Let the placeholder be username. Now it's time for the password. Change the ID to password, the name as well to password. Now instead of remember me, just say show password. Fine. Everything seems to be fine. Now the only thing is we need to add a class, our user defined class, so that we can give our favorite style to the form. Just write our style inside the form tag, so style tag. So we have created a class called box. If I give width to it as 300 pixel, will be on the center. Now other than our form, I want the background of the form to be changed, which is a light gray. If you want to give, you can be padding as well. Here we are going to have a div which will have the class logo. That means the logo image will be embedded inside the class logo. Just simply the div. Now it's time for the logo. Give the background image URL. Our image name is bg-logo.png. It is png. We need to give the height as 100 pixel and the width be also 100 pixel. Let me make whatever element inside the class box text align as center. So that seems to be working fine. Now we have to see why our image is not visible. Control O. So this is bg dash logo. We need to check why it's not showing up. We just need to add our background size for the logo in order to appear. As you can see, the logo is appeared, logo has appeared. Now in order to make the logo on the center, you have to write margin top and bottom, let's say 0 pixel, and make the left and right as auto. So this will allow on the center. Now it's time for the box to have a margin top for the box 100 pixel. That seems okay. Now it's time for the body to change the color as black background. Fine. Now if you want, you can give the border radius to the box, so you can get some rounded corner. As you can see, it's a sharp corner, right? If you make border radius 30 pixel, you will get the rounded corner. Now we need some space below the button so that we can show the error. So for the box, we need to increase the height, which I have not specified. Let's say 300 pixel. 400 would be enough, I guess. Yes. So then it seems to be working fine. Now it's time for the jQuery part. The very first thing, you need to change the action. The reason for changing this action, I'll show you. If I click, it will go which not stop requested to write JavaScript :void. This 0. That means when I click, nothing happens. Void means nothing. Nothing is going to happen. Fine. Now it's time for the validation part. In order to check whether our jQuery works or not, we'll write a simple alert. Document dot ready. So in the post document, comment is really important. Fine, comment is not working, you will skip it. Let's write the alert to check whether our jQuery is working fine or not. So when on load, you will see should give H, it does not keep because we are requested to write inside the script. Yes, it is working fine. So that is the reason why the command didn't work. Fine. So when I click on a button, I want to retrieve both values. So retrieve the first text box. So the first text box has the ID as username, not email. Let's check whether we are retrieving the username. The same way, get the value of the password and store it inside a variable called password. If let's select one which has the class btn, it's a bootstrap class, we'll use the same dot click. If I click on the button, I want to execute a function. That function should alert the value of the text field. It's for the checking purpose. It's a click, so commented as click. So alert as user name. When I click on a button, I'll get the value of the first text box on the alert end. When I click, before that I'll type something, my name. Click on submit. Says it's an email, input type equal to email. We need to change it to text. Click on submit. It doesn't work. Seems like we have a problem. So it is a click function. We have a problem. Let's see. In any case, if you want to see whether the error of the JavaScript, you can write inspect element. You can click on inspect element or Control Shift I is the shortcut. If you go to you'll see the error. So that is argument line 54. We have error. So it's click. If it disappeared, I guess our code will run fine. And we are not getting the value of the username. Let's see why. The ID. The reason is very simple. We have to write the value inside the click. When I click, I want to retrieve the value. So here you will see, if I type space, you will see we are getting the value with space. We don't require the space. We just need the text, whatever written. So if you see, if I type just my name, we get the name. If I type my name with spaces on the front, we are getting that space also. We don't require. For that, we will write a function called .trim. So if I alert with this, you will see you will not get the space. If I type space and type my name and click on submit, you will see we are not getting the spaces. Fine. This is what I wanted to show you. If now what I'm going to do is I want to insert both the values. That means I want to fill the value on both the text box. If I miss any one, it should say an error. That's what I'm going to write now. If the function which I said, trim, our user name dot length is greater than 0 and password comment is necessary. So if I enter two value, send the value to Ajax, which we will do. If we have not entered both the value, I want alert. So we'll write the alert in this else part as insert username and password. So if I type on username and click on submit, you will get an alert. If I insert only the password and click on submit, you will get the alert. Now I want to change the value. That means if I click on show password, the text box which has input type equal to text to get replaced to input type equal to, sorry, previously it was password, now it is going to text when I click on the button. So on button click, what I need is get the text box. Let's give the text box ID as check, just checkbox, so we don't get confused. Fine. If, please note, on button click, or just say when I click on the checkbox, when I click on the ID checkbox, I want the function. Comment it. I want the function, that is I want the ID password to change its attribute, that is the type should change to text. Let me show you. If I type something and click on show, it gets changed. But if I recheck, so if I uncheck, it will not go. For that, we are required to write a condition. Dollar this dot property checked equal to true. If it is true, if the property is checked, it should change to checks, or else make it again to the previous value, which is password. So if you see, we don't require for this. We just need, if I type my name and show you, there's an error. To check the error, inspect element. You'll see on the console tab what's the error. So expect token on line 51. So I guess we have missed some of the semicolon or something. We have missed the if. Let's check now. That seems to be working fine. Now type name and click. Again there's an error. Let me check what it is. Our syntax was wrong. We are required to write properties checked on a single bracket. Fine. Now if you check, you'll see the show password. It's get converted on check and on uncheck. The required changes is done. Now it's time for the AJAX part. So before going to AJAX part, I want to show you the database structure. So here we will be writing our AJAX code. Now it's time for database PHP myadmin. Here we have encrypted our password. That means when I create a column, I have encrypted. That means when you go to the database, our database is commit and our table is login td_it. So when you see, it says it is encrypted. In order to encrypt, what you have to do is you have to update a function, update a query. That means I'll show you. On SQL, you are required to write this. As you can see, update our table name, set the password. This is the encryption type MD5. This is the value. In this case, now we need admin. Change to admin, where the username is admin. Now in this case, our username and the password is admin. Previously it was password. If I say admin @123, now it's our new password. If you click on go, our password is changed. You will see I'll post the code in the description. No need to worry. Now if you browse the table, if you see the table, you will see there is an encryption type. So on our PHP, on our fetch.php, I'll show you how to convert our user typed value, that means user typed value, to the MD5 for comparison on the fetch.php file. Now the AJAX part. .AJAX. So for that, where we are going to pass our data. The first is URL. The second one is the data we are going to pass. The third one is data type we are going to pass. The fourth one is on success, what it should do on a function. And in this case, we are going to learn another new attribute, which is before send, which is a camel case. What it should do? It's a function the same as our success. Don't forget to write comma. So it is on fetch dot php. The data is the object. We are going to pass two objects. The first one is username, and the second one is password. We are going to send the value from the second input field, store it into a variable called password, and we are going to send the value as send underscore password underscore send. Fine. The data type is simply the text, nothing more. And the method is post. For encryption, post is advised. Fine. Now before send, I want the value of the button to change from from login to connecting. So get the class of the button, since it's class and dot I want to change the text of the button to which one? As connecting. So when I click on a button, it will say connecting before sending our to value of the text field to the AJAX. Fine. Now just alert. I'll show you how does it works. So this is our form. Type my name, type anything and check. There seems to be error, that's why it is not working. Let's see what it is. See, the alert should come inside the success function. Let's see what's the error. Control-Shift-I in shortcut. Console, you see unexpected token on line 67. We have missed what? Line 67 it isn't. We need to change the trim for this, not for the condition, so that we can pass the trimmed value to the AJAX. The problem was really silly. As you can see, I have a round bracket. We need a curly bracket over here. Yep, it has gone. Now let's check the value. So we just see the login to change to connecting. So you can see connecting. Now it's time for the fetch.php. Okay, now we need the select PHP. Same way from W3 school, we get a bit of fetching data from PHP. We'll go for the procedural one. As I have already shown you, our database is localhost. So we have a default username and password. The username is root and the password is nothing, and the database name is command, which I have already shown you. Now we need just the username. So username from our table tbl underscore login, where our username equal to admin and password equal to admin@123. I have already shown you we have encrypted the password. So for that, here we are going for the professional way. So what we need is we need some professional functions. The first one is, if the value of username and password is set, then get inside the code. We will get the value of the username and password on the post $post_send. This is the first value we will get, and this is the second value we will receive. If both the value is set, then get inside the code. So this code will be inside our isSet function. After our isSet function, it will get inside. Okay, now these two values should be SQL injection free. That means there are some hackers who will type some SQL query or the script inside your text box to safeguard that hacking problem, or you can say to prevent that thing to happen. We will require to write a function called string. PHP real escape. I'll show you. What it is, you type greater than symbol on your text box greater than as a string, like GREATE. You type single quote, it gets converted to single quotes as text. So it receives two arguments. The first one is connection, the second one is our username and password. As I have already said, the password is encrypted. To decrypt it, you are required to pass the password function inside the MD5 function. To decrypt the password, you are required to pass the encrypted value. Here it is encrypted value to a MD5 function. Now it gets converted to MD5. What I meant is, if you type admin@123, it will be admin@123 here. Until this line, it would be admin@123. If we pass the value inside the parameter, it gets converted to this value. So right now, on the password, the value is not admin@123, while the password now is converted to this value with the help of MD5 function. So that's being said, I will pass the value inside our query $name. So as you can see, the query will execute. Whatever value we'll get from the text field, we'll pass it to the query after passing the value through the professional function, that is MySQLi real escape string, which is 100% recommended when you pass your text field inputs value to your database. You're not supposed to directly pass the value. Previously in our video we would have done the same, but it is highly not recommended. Fine. Now if we get one or more row, we want to echo only the username. $row, the value is username. Fine. So the echoed value is received from the argument of the success function. If the data is set, I want the page to get redirected. That is, I want the body to load the page of home.php with some fade effect, fade in of 1000, let's say. Else it should give the shake effect. For that we need to pass the argument which will have the object of direction of left and how many times it should shake, times colon, the default value is 4, and the distance, let's say for 60 would be enough, the shaking effect. So this value we'll require to pass inside a function called effect. What class should get effect function? The class we need to write here. The box is what we need to add the effect. So over here the shake is a function, and the options, and then the time. In order to shake work, you need the jQuery CDN, where the shake effect is initialized. We need one script tag and one CSS, and for plain one. So for our convenience, we'll see the plain one. Just copy this, copy link tag, copy script tag for this. So the effect is defined. So if the fetch, let's check the fetch.php works fine or not. There says unexpected echo because we have not written the semicolon. Use of undefined constant, username sent, and everything seems to be fine because we have not sent the input value on our defined variable. That's what it shows. Let's check. So usually what will happen is, if this query executes fine, we'll get the username, and if the retrieved data is our username we know it is admin. If it is admin, I want the home page, so I want the body to get load the page home.php. I want our HTML body to load a home.php. If that doesn't work, I want the shake effect to take place on our class box, and I want our button, it is btn, to have text as login again, and we need a div which will show the result as please try again later, wrong credential, which will be the bold. Let's add a style to it. Color red. It is not text, it is HTML. Since we are passing the bold, we need to add result class to a div which will show if we have some error. Let's make the div /div which will have the HTML. Let's save. Now check, it's my name, so admin @123 to check show password. If that doesn't work, that means our code has an error. We have a element, it will show you unexpected token. If data is equal to admin, then see. So it is not, we need to write it on the if, not on the function. My bad. Missing on line 85. It says we are missing, so there is quotation problem. We already have a double quotes here. That seems fine. Now let's check. Admin @123 to check. Yep. Now click on login. It says login failed. That means we have a error on our fetch.php. That means we are not able to retrieve what is there on username underscore send. So in order to check our code, we need to take the if is set. See. And yes, as expected, our code works fine. Admin @123. You'll get the source code in the description. Thank you for listening. That works fine.